Hey everyone. I know y'all probably like she full of shit. She was supposed to go do a video and she didn't, but y'all listen. I've been working like a slave recently. Um, I had set goal that I wanted something. And when you want something, you work for it, right? So yeah, I wanted y'all to ride home with me. And I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a lot of craziness going on out here in these YouTube streets. I mean, I just be so flabbergasted by all of the things that I see. When it comes to a lot of these adults, like I know I said I had made a short a while back saying that I was going to speak online, and I wanted to do more research. But you know what? I'm like, if I just speak my mind organically, I think it'll have more depth and weight to it. I'm sure y'all would agree. So yeah, so it's the thing, lying. Um, Lying to make yourself look better. Whether you're just lying like I make $30 an hour, or that you have a great spouse, or when they really ain't shit, or I mean it's the list goes on and on and on. People are addicted to drugs and alcohol and lie and say they're not. I've heard many people say, "Oh, I'm not an alcoholic," and then even worse is that those who do not really know what the disease is will go along with that. They'll believe that. One of my biggest things is lying on other people for the benefit of winning the audience, or, to make yourself look better. Most of the time, the person know you lying to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's for myself, because I've lied. You know what I'm saying? I've done some foul shit, lied, whatever. And I've went back and said, you know what? And every time the person was like, I already know. You know what I'm saying? But what I find so disturbing is how these people get on here and put on this show like they're actors, and they're not. And I'm not saying actors in the sense of like they're actual actors. I mean like actors in the sense of they're putting on this show, they're looking for all this approval, they're lying on other people, and the lies that they're spreading are so malicious. Like it's things that get you killed. People have gotten killed over these things. Families have been destroyed over these things, and in a lot of cases, especially when you're talking about assault issues, however you want to term it, and or like drug and alcohol issues, the people that really go through these things either don't speak out because of the stigma, or because they feel like they're not going to be believed. And so when you have people using these things to win over some people, it's disgusting. When you have people running around here making up lies on people just to prove a point that that person is dirty, filthy, or foul, or whatever you're trying to say about them, it's disgusting. It's gross. It's like, really? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to lie, say, okay, they not good people because well, you know what I'm saying, they be on here on begging or something stupid. But like to call someone an assault, someone that does assaults, or even a thief or things, and it's not true, like, man, that's just not good. And I find that it's old people, not in the sense that they're like old, but older, you know what I'm saying, like carrying on like I would think like some teenagers, maybe people in their early 20s would act, you know what I'm saying? But I know people that age that don't act like that. That's not even important. It's not even on their mind. And I was just like, this, I didn't even know about these sectors in YouTube. Let me say that. I did like a lot of business videos. I would search religion, self-improvement, just different things like that. Like I did not know that these sectors or types of YouTube channels existed. And it's funny because how I found out about any of it is Brother Polite. I didn't even know who he was for real, for real. I had heard of him years ago, but I didn't pay attention. And so I heard about his case, and it made me go do some research on what was really going on because I knew the name. Okay, this truck has jumped in front of me and decided to throw their hazards away. um, so yeah, and so then that's how I discovered Tasha K, Sonetta, God, the list goes on. And it was like it kept trickling down to a new channel. And I'm the kind of person, I mean, I don't watch TV. I'm a big social media person in a sense. That's my entertainment. Even if I don't do anything or say anything, I'll just be on there just watching other people. And so it's like, wow. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I did not know. Hey, I'm driving, so I can't see the comments. But hey, it's so crazy. Like I'm 38 years old, and I sometimes feel old, but then I see people that's like 50s, 60s, and they're like bickering and arguing. It's like, go sit down and be a grandparent. You know what I'm saying? Why are you spending your later years of life on a platform with people you're never going to meet, and you're talking about their family and their parents, and like, I don't know. When I grew up, like, there's certain things that you didn't do. We all know somebody said something about your mama that was fighting words. Your mama's so fake. What you say about my mama? Fighting words. You know what I'm saying? And women and children were off limits. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were just off limits. And another big thing that I'm just kind of just like disgusted over is the doxing. You know what I'm saying? And you're doxing people, you're doxing each other, and it's a bunch of lies that's tied into it. So I lie on you, you lie on me, and then we're gonna have all this drama, and then I'm gonna dox you. And it's like you're playing with people's lives. Like I said, I don't know a lot about these sectors or whatever, how far they go, but I'm quite sure some people have lost their lives over this YouTube nonsense. I can just imagine, or people that have been really harmed, put in jail, whatever the case may be, because of this YouTube nonsense. And it's disgusting. And I wish they'd stop texting me. And more importantly to me is like, especially for the people that's conscious, do you know they like sitting up looking at all of this and they're like, look at these fools. This is why they keep social media open. This is why those social media platforms evolve. And as they evolve, it's not a positive evolutionary thing. It's negative, you know. And it's like when we put our twist on it, it always end up being worse. You know what I'm saying? But back to the lying. It's crazy because I've actually been lying on here, and I'm a nobody with just this channel. You know what I'm saying? And I created it because of my name. I just wanted to do something different with my name because this is one of my favorite names to use, and I have another one. But this is the one I wanted to start my platform on. And I'm not lying, because if I get to know you and we have a personal conversation, I don't mind letting you see my face, but it's not important. I want my voice to be the topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind opening up and reaching out to someone, even if it ends up bad. You can't lie on me. What you gonna do? What you gonna say? You gonna say I'm a bad mom? No. I'm out here fighting? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm unemployed? No. I'm ugly? Maybe. To some people I might be, but who gives a fuck? I'm married. You know what I'm saying? That's not my concern, and I would never do that to anyone. I believe I'm a big person about anonymity. Um, I'm a big person about privacy. I don't believe that I should lie on someone. If I do discuss something in reference to another person, it's going to be about how it was involving me, not just some made up stuff. And then I'm still going to pick and choose who I want to relay that stuff to. I mean, I've been around the block. I know how fake people can be. You know what I'm saying? And so I've learned a life skill of don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And people that do that, I don't fuck with them. Period. I know I hate when people say that, but it was just the right time to say that. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not. That's not how I'm cut. Like from where I come from, how I was raised, the lies, the manipulation, niggas getting their brains blown out. Bitches getting their jaws wired behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like people suffer from that. I know someone in jail doing life because he murdered somebody over a lie. He only did 20 years of his bit over a lie. And so it's like, that's important. It's real. It's just disgusting. So here's the problem with the lies. Let's get on some half-ass educational smart people stuff. Yeah, doxing the wrong person. I'm glad I just seen that. Right, right. I heard the one story about what's her name? The lady Michi X, she's biracial or whatever. And that they doxed someone who had the same name as her because it's a common name for people, Caucasian people, white people, whatever. And it was ended up being someone else. And that happens. So I'm glad you pointed that out that they can dox the wrong person. But on the flip side, here's some of the mental health behind the lies. Outside of it destroying families, it can cause mental anguish. We didn't know about Tasha K in that situation. It can cause emotional breakdown, severe depression, suicidal attempts. We know that. We've seen that a lot. And that's for the victim. Let's talk about the villain. Why are you lying? Why are you so insecure? What did that person do to you? How did they shame you? How did they embarrass you? What's going on in you that you had to make somebody else look bad? Who did it? What are you trying to cover up? What did you do? And what did you do that makes you feel so comfortable to place and say such malicious things for someone else? Get your ass over, person. Like, what did you do? Because my mother told me, may she rest in peace, when people accuse you of doing something, it's because they fucking doing it or they have done it. That's what mom told me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they say that in reference to like cheating, that cliche stuff. But y'all heard that? The salt trucks is tearing our streets up. But it's the truth. Like if you're a thief and you accusing everybody of stealing, it's because you a thief. If you're telling all these malicious lies, but they liars, right? So where's the mental health problems in this? You know, you want to say people are assaulting people and stuff like that. Were you assaulted? You want to brag about what you have. Is that because you never had anything? You want people to believe that you are so important and so much or whatever you believe that you are. Is it because you had ugly duckling syndrome when you were a kid? Were you bullied? Do you have insecurities about a certain body part? Were you once overweight, lost a lot of weight, so you want to, make yourself feel big? Were you very thin and gained a little bit of weight, so now you're looking good? Like what happened? Is it because that you were a substance abuser and then once you got yourself together, you like, damn, I'm good, I did it. But did you get mental health help with that? Because just putting a cork in a bottle or putting a pipe down or whatever you did, that's just the surface of it. What about therapy? What about counseling? What about learning how to live again? Because did you know the age that you start using whatever you're using, including alcohol, if you start drinking really bad, that's where your mental growth stops? You know what I'm saying? So if you started using crack cocaine at 15 years old, your actions and your mentality is going to somewhat be like a 15-year-old in some ways, and you're going to definitely be emotionally unstable. Uh, so what are you doing to fix those things? What are you doing to work on those things? Are you growing up? See, there's so much with that, with the lying and where it stems from. And it's usually something that happened, the R word, the M word, being bullied, getting beat up, um, being a product of your environment, being poor, a terrible relationship, all kinds of things. But why are you doing that? Why are you lying? I just need to know. My favorite thing to say is I'm confused. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, like I don't get it. But I do want to talk about it and maybe, ask questions to have people elaborate on it. If they were a liar, they, figured out that it was a problem within them. Like what did they do? Did they start owning up to their BS? Ain't nobody gonna sit up and say I still lie. But like if you made certain mistakes in the past, you don't have to talk about them. But like how did you overcome them? How did you fix them? What the hell? It's like police all outside at the shopping center. Um, but like, what did you do? How did you fix it? You know, is what you saying or what you said really done something to someone? Did it really hurt someone? Did you apologize? Did you make amends to that person? Are you still a liar in the sort? Ask yourself them questions. What about mental health? Have you lied to yourself for so long and said, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have a problem. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict. Them hurting me when I was a kid. It didn't really matter that much. It ain't nothing. I'm no longer mad at that person, you know. But then you sit and you get by yourself and you ain't even gotta drink or smoke. Shit, you can be on some you know, eating too much. You wanna get away from it. You don't wanna feel it no more. So are you really over it? Are you doing an inventory? Are you taking accountability? Are you recognizing your feeling? It's so many things, so many questions. And I have so many questions. I wonder if you got the answer. I got the answer for myself, you know. I can't honestly say that. I got the answer for myself. Um, and I don't mind sharing the answer. I don't mind discussing things because anything that I've been through and experienced, I definitely want to be in a position to help somebody else overcome those things, if possible, to grow, because that's what it's about, right? Growth. So yeah. Oh, I made it in the driveway without halfway killing myself. So yeah, I was gonna say for those who can share, if you don't mind sharing, if you run across it, um, tell people to follow me. Like my conversations. No, they're not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? And that's some of the things we need to talk about. I just got home so I can kind of look at the comments. We need to talk about these things. We need to talk about how are you dealing with the things that you did? How are you dealing with the things that happened to you? What are some options that is out there to maybe help you? Are you willing to get help? Are you willing to make amends to those people that you told lies on? Because see, it's the difference between apologizing and making amends. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You can say I'm sorry. You feel the way you feel. You know what I'm saying? Some old gaslighting, narcissistic stuff. But like really sitting down and having that conversation with that person, a private conversation, and just going over, like, that was really foul what I did, and let's lay all the cards on the table. Um, oh, did you? I don't I tried to score once, but I don't know how to do that. But I did. start a clubhouse. I just, like I said, I've been working so much. I actually am off for a few days, so I'm gonna start kind of delving into a few different things because I think it's important. I think it's important for us to start having these conversations, and not just on a like you got to be professional or licensed social worker. Like for real, let's have these conversations. Let's talk about these things. Let's express these things. And I'm not just talking about women. When I first thought about doing my channel, my therapist was like, "Oh, you're gonna make it about women?" I said no, because there's so many black men that's out here lost, that's acting crazy, that's cutting up. You know what I'm saying? And they need that. And they need to see other black men that are actually doing it. So they might have that idea like, well, dang, that's how I feel. And dang, I ain't got to feel soft because I feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't want my channel to be primarily about just women. And also because I have daughters. So, a lot of black men are in their daughters' lives. I might, be at the store shopping and getting my little one something and showing them how to pick out an outfit for their daughter, or I might be talking about what's popping, what's trending, for the kids or whatever. But I just want it to be a lot of different things to be discussed in an adult way with adults who are not afraid to be vulnerable in a way that they're still keeping their anonymity. Like, you don't have to say I was the R word to say I was assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times assault um, can have the same feelings, depending. You could be verbally assaulted and feel terrible, you can. So it doesn't have to be like in detail, but I think we should start having these conversations. I think we should start bringing some positivity and not really be about gossip, taking ownership. I don't mind sharing my mistakes, my faults, if I can say, well, I did this and this how I fixed it, or this is what I did, or if I can recommend a YouTube channel or a book, whatever, can help. Like, I think I mentioned it before, my mom passed away in 2020 from COVID. And when it first happened, I just kind of went into autopilot, setting up her funeral arrangements and everything. And the real grief, like I had moments, but it hit me last year in December. A year later, it was like I just shut down. And I'm slowly coming up out of that. I mean, I ain't like drinking or anything crazy. I'm sober. I don't do anything. Um, but let me tell you, I had to go to group grief counseling. I had to do personal grief counseling, you know, um, because I didn't know how to grieve because I'm from the inner city. Everything is fight or flight. I was raised to get out here and get that money. And so over the years, I learned how to stuff feelings because everything was about survival. And that's exactly what I did when she passed away. I went into survival mode. So I wasn't working. I got her funeral and everything taken care of, did all the arrangements. And so then right after that, I'm like, you know what? I need to go back to work. So I went back to work. You know what I'm saying? And I kept just still piling things on and not peeling back the onion. And so now I am. And it's actually it's exciting sometimes, and then sometimes um it brings up other things, but I feel good about it. I feel good about going through these counseling, these therapies, and dealing with things that I never addressed. I was funny. I'm gonna say this before I go in the house because I am home. And I know when I go in here, my kids are gonna go crazy because I've been gone since like 6 this morning. I was sitting up and I remember, how when you were kids in school, you had like the love letters or whatever, and like the little boy would be like, I like you, or you're pretty, and you're like, oh, he want to be your boyfriend, or little silly stuff like that. And I remember this boy, he had like a crush on me. And it was kind of like everybody's like, he want to be your boyfriend. I'm like, whatever. I wouldn't. I didn't know what to say or whatever. And so then he kept trying to like bother me. And I was like, you think I'm your girlfriend? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go with you no more. Like I was like 9 years old. Do you know this boy punched me in my face and broke my nose? I just remembered that yesterday. Like that is so crazy. And that's just an example of how we close ourselves in and we shut things out and we ignore things. And the more we do it, the more we forget. And they do say like your memory can be distorted. Like it you may only remember bits and pieces, but no, damn it. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I don't feel bad about it now that I'm talking about it. But it was just like, damn, that really happened. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, right? But that's me being vulnerable and just giving out like instances. So, I'm being real. Nothing I'm saying is lies. I don't even, this is probably the first time I've ever said that I lost my mother to COVID since I've been interacting or whatever. Um, in the live chats and different things, like even when they would talk about it, the jab and all that. And I got it. I got it this year, late November. And I was just like, I was on the fence about it. And I just remember sitting up and I'm like, my mother would tell me to get it. She would tell me that we do whatever we have to do to prolong our lives. And at the end of the day, it really don't matter. We are going to die anyway. But if you believe that it'll work, just give it a chance. And I know she would have got it because my mother was a big, big person about health. And she didn't even have a high school diploma. But she ain't play when it came to her health, her physical or mental health. And so I was just like, this, if I grow a tail next year, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And if you run across this and you don't agree about the vaccine and your conspiracies, keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling people and telling their family members have died for COVID. I don't want to hear it. I don't. So, just my 5 cents. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is really like my personal time. Like, because when I'm in the house, it's a cat and a dog and 2 kids, and my husband is loud too, you know. So my free time is like driving to work and driving home from work. But I'm glad that I finally got one viewer. And I'm definitely going to I'm gonna try to do another video or two this week, even if it's just something short, like after I'm dropping the kid off to school or something, just driving. Um, I do want to delve more into um, finding more resources to put out there for Black men to help them, and it can be anonymous. Like I'll share links and different things like that. It's a gentleman that I would really, really love to connect with, and not put on my platform because I don't have one. But I got an idea of where I want him to go. Um, but like I said, I've been working. It's one gentleman, and then it's another guy who's a social worker, who also has some mental health issues. And I would love for someone to have that sit down with them. You know, they're not perfect. They got ex-wives and baby mamas and all that, and I love their channels. So I'm like I said, I don't know if it'll work for me because I don't have a platform, but I do know a couple of people I think that their personalities would mesh and they would be able to have that conversation with them. So needless to say, just look out for that. I am going to get back to posting a few shorts, just a couple of things I have looked into. I know people are probably questioning like, well, she said she don't believe in God. No, I don't believe in God. And I'll explain that later. I'll do a short about that. I don't do religion. And I'll just leave it at that until I feel like discussing it again. But I'm open to all religions, all spiritual things, whatever you believe, as long as you're not radical about it, and as long as you're not going to come and try to persuade me and debate with me. Let me say this: we're not going to fucking debate religion. I know the Bible. I understand the Bible. I know the history of the Bible. I know the history of a lot of religions, and that's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not putting faith in man. That should give you the main hint, you know. But anyway, I love y'all. Until next time, unless I see you on another platform, be well. I hate this song, but be well. Have fun. Take care of your family. And may peace be with you. Peace.